everybody, welcome to this new lab. This is the third and final lab from the class 7, and in this case we are going to work with Inetsim. Inetsim is a tool that runs in Linux, so we are working with a second environment this time, but in order to be able to connect our two environments, we need to redirect any traffic from our victim machine to our Linux machine. Let's do that. So we need to go here to settings, network, Ethernet 0 properties. And in this case, we are going to change these settings. Our gateway, it will be now 128, and our DNS, it will be 128 as well. You can see here how that is the IP of our Linux machine. So just to be sure, let's check our connectivity. We just need to put here. And it's working. Okay, so once we have this, now let's go to our Linux and let's run Inetsim. There you go. Inetsim is a tool that is actually working with logs. As you can see here, everything is based in logs. So in order to be able to understand and to gather the information from Inetsim, we are going to see the log that is generating at the end of our analysis. So right now we have Inetsim running, and it's time to infect our victim system. So let's run this, and as you can see here, it's running our malware that is running this, and we can see here this little pop-up that we see actually before, but before it was a fake net window, and now it's an Inetsim window. So let's go to our Linux environment and let's see what is going on. So let's go to these are the different logs that we can find in Inetsim, and service is the one that is collecting our information. This is our information, and we can see here that this file is actually using a hard IP. That means it's not connecting to the DNS server because it's not looking for any domain. That's why in this case Inetsim worked perfectly. In other case, if we are having a malware that is trying to connect to the DNS server, we will be using fake DNS if we are in Linux. But in this case, it's just using the hard IP. So here we can see the host. This is the hard IP that is using. Inetsim responds, and looks like the malware is asking for this executable right here. So Inetsim is more specific. Actually, it's telling you what it's doing. So you can see here sending fake file that is trying to be the executable file. And this is the file that is actually sending. That is just a random file that that Inetsim actually made. So Inetsim work perfectly with hard IPs. As we can see, it is doing a connection to the port 80, so it's working with HTTP, but it works with HTTPS as well. And this is actually a very good approach if you have a file in your environment that has anti-detection techniques. So the difference between FakeNet and Inetsim, when to use it, it is based in what type of malware you have. Like, as you can see, FakeNet is a tool that you are running in the same environment that you have your malware. Sometimes these malwares has anti-detection techniques that what it does, some of the techniques is checking the processes that are running. And if they detect any analysis tool, then they have a different behavior. So if you don't want to run any analysis tool in your environment that you are infecting, then this is a good way to run a second environment that will be monitoring your victim environment. And that is the way that you can analyze your file without changing the behavior because the anti-detection techniques. In this case, you can use Inetsim, you can use fake DNS, and that will help you to do exactly the same steps that we did in the victim environment, but outside of that. But even when it's a second environment, it's still a local environment because this environment is not going out to internet. So that is the beauty of this. We never have connection with the real C2 that we can't tell them that we are analyzing their files. So that's how Inetsim work. I hope that you enjoyed this lab and see you in the next class.